Assalamu alaikum, this is TSF, and today we are back for another review, which is the latest Netflix movie, Don't Look Up. And we're not looking up, but like, oh my god, everything about this movie is messed up, but in a good sort of way. Like, there's every like I don't know, maybe the story writers, they were just so tired of all the propaganda of media and politics and everything. They were like, okay, you know what, I'll make a movie about it and I'll offend as many people as possible with just one movie. And this movie definitely takes that cake. You've got a stellar cast, Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, and everybody. And the story is just like, what you would expect, how the world would react to an end of world scenario. But so, hey, what are your thoughts on this movie?
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And the best part is, the writers did not have to work hard, right? They just sat in the world, they turned on the channels, and they portrayed that exact thing onto a movie in a satire kind of way.
True.
Okay, they made sure that people got this movie knew what it was doing from the start till the end. It had no problems with its identity. We have movies that they are not finding their identity throughout the movie. This movie knew from start to end what it was doing, and it was a satire at how people behave. You said, how people would behave in a world-ending, scenario. We already saw that with people, with COVID,
Yeah,
the
pretty
way people
much.
reacted with scientists telling people that COVID is there, but people being like, conspiracy theorists, the half believers, the full believers. There was all of them there, and they portrayed every one of them in that category. And the cast was great. I mean, but maybe not needed for this movie. But obviously, when you have Meryl Streep, you have Jennifer Lawrence, you have DiCaprio, you have Jonah Hill in the movie, it turns heads. It creates views. Netflix needs views, so it did that. But again, you can say that it was not their best work for none of them, for easily, because they are such great actors, all of them, Meryl Streep, DiCaprio, but they kind of didn't need to be great actors for this movie.
Yeah.
This movie wanted to deliver a point, and it did it so well.
Yeah, I feel like the cast was more of a marketing move if you think about it. Like, if it was any other actor, you probably wouldn't watch it. But suddenly you hear names like Meryl Streep, Leonardo DiCaprio, you're like, oh man, this must be something. And then, like, imagine you're a journalist, like one of those kind of journalists which the movie portrays, and you watch this movie, you're gonna get offended like anything, because this is a harsh reality literally slapped across on your face. And this probably is what is going on with this world as well. And what I really liked is, in the duration of the movie, at the very start, they put the United States president as somebody who's really competent, really knows what they're doing. But as the layers fall off, you're like, wow, this is just a like cigarette addict who's just been given so much power and everything. And that's it. That's pretty much the gist of it. And then her son Jonah Hill, I don't know why, he reminded me so much of Trump. Like, this was like, I don't know, junior Trump, or I don't know what, but this guy was reminding me of Trump all the way through. And there were some uncomfortable moments as well, like in this entire movie, like, when DiCaprio's character cheats on his wife and all of that. I'm like, hang on, where is that coming from? Like, what sort of character development is this? When we get to the ending and the entirety of the planet is pretty much done for, it's that realization, like, oh yeah, this was real all along. This was not a hoax. This was not the movie trying to pull our legs or anything. This was real, and this happened. And then, of course, the rich escaped.
I mean, this movie is so on the nose, and yet you enjoy it. The dialogue that Jonah Hill said in that, in the rally,
Yeah.
it was about the poor making us richer, and giving us the power to control the other half. That was so on the nose, but it was depicting such harsh realities that it's done in a satire way that you laugh, but when you're done laughing, you start thinking about this movie as well. That this is where we are as a society right now.
It's like the people they are cheering on, and I can't help but think about our country's political rallies where they just pretty much spout anything, and people would just
Mhm.
agree with that just because there are like 10 people who are just shouting. They just want to join in the shout. They don't even know what the guy is talking about, but they're just joining in for the hype. So yeah, that's what this movie particularly delivers. And one more concept that I would really like to talk about is the whole scenario of the media training. If you think about it, that's what they call. And because the doctor was apparently,
Mhm.
with his nerves calmed and everything, he was in control of the information, whereas Jennifer Lawrence's character was
Mhm.
exactly like just going haywire, Katie Biosky, and that's where they made the meme out of her, and they sort of sexualized the doctor. So you sort of see like, okay, like how we
Mhm.
just glossed over the problem and we've villainized and then heroized one of the two
Mhm.
people. So,
Mhm.
and it's a
Mhm.
huge depiction of our current society as well. Like this is what we do. We just ignore the
Mhm.
problem.
Exactly. And one more thing, that the billionaire that what was his name again in the movie?
I'm forgetting his name
Bash
right now, bro.
something.
Bash. He
Bash
was the CEO
Bash
of Bash.
something.
He was
Yeah.
the CEO of Bash. Bash was the
He was the
company.
CEO of Bash. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm forgetting his name
yeah.
right now.
Okay, whatever. First of all, the acting of the guy was amazing.
Of
Okay,
spot on.
that calm, collective, the calm, collective way of him saying
Cynical.
stuff, that was perfect.
Cynical.
That was
Cynical.
very
That
well done. But showing that the effect that these billionaires have on even government decisions, the power that they have over governments, that was also a very huge uh, part of this movie, to show how this is. And may it be America, may it be Pakistan, it's all over the world. This is how things are, you know
yeah.
so
I mean, and the way this guy portrays that cynical side, like total mad scientist sort of side of him, and
yes.
it's so like accurate. Like at the end of the movie, he just escapes. He's like, okay, didn't work, let's go. Because at the end of the day, he just cares
Mhm.
about himself and the people who can benefit him. He has no empathy for humanity
Mhm.
per se. So with that said, of course, I think we can move on to our ratings. What would you rate it? So
For a satire movie, I really wanted to give it a 10 out of 10 for actually, depicting everything right about a society, but I would give it an 8 out of 10.
an 8 out of 10. Pretty much, it's my score is about somewhere between 7.5 to 8 out of 10 as well. Like while there could have been, like, you couldn't have done more with the movie itself. It's a pretty much straightforward story, no leg pulls or anything of the sort. There was like this particular, like, pacing issue that the movie suffers with. Like, you're pacing scenes between like three different entities. Like, you have DiCaprio's story, you have Jennifer Lawrence's story, then you have her story with the Timothy Chalamet's character. And that's what something that just like, and of course the overall character development. Like, you put this guy as a very shy, very introverted professor, and then suddenly he has A+ media training. He knows how to talk to the media while he was stuttering with the president. So I can imagine with the media it would have been worse, but somehow he has it under control. So again, these are very nitpicky kind of things. So I would give it an 8 out of 10 as well. So it's a good weekend watch, but not, of course, with the family.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
for obvious reasons.
Obvious.
But yeah, so 8 out of 10 it is for Don't Look Up. And for a movie with that name, we will definitely say do look it up on Netflix and
Dude,
do
we
do
we
check it out.
and we are team lookup.
Team Look Up. Yeah, we are definitely Team Look Up. But with that, we'll sign off from this review for today. Let us know what your thoughts are about the movie. Does it capture the satire or like the reality that our society faces these days? Let us know in the comments below. Please do subscribe and like our page. Until then, this is TSF signing off. Take care.